Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you too can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. I hope you are having a great Saturday. It is absolutely beautiful today, and I am looking forward to our guest today because today we have the Keeper of Memories on our show. She is someone who is helping people see themselves for how beautiful they are and preserving family history for future generations. Our good friend here at Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne, Terrie Alfieri, is a professional photographer, a design guru, and she means it, and an adventurer from East Islip, New York. She has been photographing weddings and families in the tri-state area for the past 15 years. If you saw her, it's not even possible. She must have been like 5 when she started. Terrie's passion of preserving family history is the foundation of her newest venture called the Album Shoppe and the beginning of her empire. Welcome to the show, Terrie.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so excited. So Terrie, TerrieAlfieri.com, right? Mm-hmm. The Album Shoppe. I love that you do that. I love that we call you the Keeper of Memories. Why do we call you the Keeper of Memories?
So it's kind of funny. I grew up and I just always loved being that person that took all the photos, that documented everything. Maybe like the creeper. Yeah, that's okay, right?
That's okay.
I was that person that was always wanting to take your picture, and then nobody understood it at the time, but then later they were so appreciative of it. And I have one of my closest friends, she always asks me for photos, and she's like, you are just the keeper of memories. I love that. And It makes me so happy.
Yeah. And it really actually depicts you. It just wraps it up in a nice little bow. You're a caregiver. That's what you do. And you do that by preserving these really emotional, special moments that you're able to capture. I mean, some of the pictures when you go to the Album Shoppe, you can see the albumshop.com is, and shop with 2 P's and an E. When you go there, you can really see, you feel like you're involved in the story in the picture. They're not just photographs, they're actually stories. That's what I see when I look at your photos.
Yeah, that's I'm happy you say that, because that's what I'm really hoping to get from it. That people get from it is seeing their pictures laid out in more of like a storytelling way, as opposed to, I have all these photos and, what does it actually mean? I have thousands of photos as you scroll and scroll and scroll.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to help them to create stories.
Yeah.
And remember those times.
Yeah. And you notice it is, as a marketing strategist, when I look at photos and when I'm working with websites and things like that, when I look at photos, I want them to be nonverbal stories. I want you to be able to fill in the blank of what just went on, or what's occurring right now, or what are they laughing at, or getting that emotion, feeling that emotion they're feeling in the photos. The weddings that you take, those pictures, those little element pictures you take. Let's talk about that. That to me is so inspired when you just take a picture of the rings, or you take a picture of blurred in the background, but you're focused on one element in the whole entire room. I love those things. Talk to us about that.
So I really love capturing moments and details, and sometimes that comes across as, just like you said, the rings and, the invitation and all the different details like that. But it's more about, just stuff, right? It's something that is very meaningful to people. So, when I have people and they're holding hands, I like to, it sounds cheesy, but it's something that's really nice to remember what it felt like. And so really that's what I feel is my job as a photographer, is to bring you back to what it felt like to be there. Not just, oh, here's all these beautiful details, or here's all this stuff that we spent lots of time putting together because it was trendy or it was in style at the time. I want to help you to remember the things that truly matter.
Yeah.
Not that those things don't matter. It's just that these are the things that intrinsically I think have so much more value. Do you also allow, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you also allow people to be present in the moment while you capture and preserve it for them. So you're preserving what they're feeling. So when they go back and look at those photographs, they can re-feel those feelings they were feeling because they were present. And I think that's something I noticed too about all the shoots that you have, is that people are present. You make them feel so comfortable they're present. Yeah. Well, thank you. It's just that part is, I want you to slow down. When I work with a lot of new parents, and I want them to slow down and remember what it's like to be, even though their lives are crazy and chaotic, and they're just focusing on like, oh my God, how do I keep this baby alive for the next 1 year?
Yeah.
Right? It's very important. And
1 year, the next minute.
Yeah. I have diapers to change. I have all sorts of weird things going on that I don't understand. I can't sleep. And so it's really so special to be able to say, hey, I'm here for the next hour or two. You're going to put your phones away. We're going to just enjoy being a family of 3 or 4 whenever they're coming together, and everything, nothing else matters, because truly at the end of the day, what matters? Your family.
Yeah.
And so we're often very busy in the hustle and bustle that we don't get to slow down and appreciate it. So I feel like a lot of times when I go out on a shoot, I'm actually teaching people how to have family time.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what do we do? Well, how do we do this? I don't understand. And I'm like, all right, we're just going to try this. How about we try going for a walk down the boardwalk? Why don't we try pushing your kids on the swings? Why don't we try, with a newborn, just like snuggling, just like feeling their little toes and their little hands. And, the thing that is so important to me that I hope to pass on to my clients is capturing those moments just while you're, so crazy and you don't even know what's going on. And then later looking back and saying, wow, life was so simple back then. Life was so beautiful. And we, now we're appreciating it. So you might not, just like kind of what I was saying in the beginning about taking pictures of friends over the years and family, they don't always understand it in the moment how important it was. And now that we have phones, we're just snapping away all day thinking like, okay, we have to capture it to put it on social media or to share with people. But, really capturing what's so important to us as people, and having someone to do that for you while you're in your
in the
life.
moment, present, while you're present in the moment. Yeah. Your composition is beautiful, and composition is the layout of the capturing of that moment, telling that story. That's what composition is. Anybody can take a picture, but not everybody has the eye for composition, and the composition is just gorgeous. You really, again, you emote the weather, the feeling, the sunlight, the everything. You just capture it at the right angle. And that composition, that your eye for composition goes to the fact that you are in fact a design guru. And then you do these extraordinary layouts for these beautiful photo albums. Now, I'm not a photo album girl. I'm not a flip through a book girl, but you also have alternatives for not photo album girls. Some people love photo albums. I know, many of my friends, they love their photo albums, and they put them out on their counter, on their coffee tables, and they enjoy their photos as opposed to just having them on their phone where you have 4,000 pictures and you can't find the picture that you want, but it's really in the photo album sitting on your coffee table.
Right.
But you offer these other things. And this to me was so intriguing to me. The photo boxes, I'm obsessed with the glass one. Photo boxes, and on the glass one, you can inscribe the name on the top, emboss it, is it? Or
they laser etch it these days. Who knew?
Laser etch. So they laser etch your name or some saying on the top, and then you have all the photos in, and you can flip through them. That's another way to keep the collection. And then of course you do the framing. You have someone who frames. You have a whole department for framing. So you have a photo album department. You have a framing department. You have the box album. You could digitize it. You could, oh my gosh, everything. You go from soup to nuts. But it's all about being mindful of capturing and preserving those memories, right?
Yes, and also being able to enjoy them. And thanks for saying that. All of these different ways to enjoy your photos. I've over the years kind of surveyed my clients and friends and family and just kind of observed what people like to do. Not everybody is an album person. And I know when we first met, you were like, I don't know. I mean, they're beautiful, but like, I can't see myself having one of these.
No, they're stunning. They're absolutely stunning. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, no, my wedding album is in my former wedding album, I should say, is in my closet. There, right.
Yeah.
But now I have, you had converted slides of mine into photos. So now I have the digital version of these slides, which was
so fun.
Quite the undertaking.
Like an adventure going through decades and decades of
Tinsel.
Christmas photos and so many tinsels, because you have to think about it. When did people take out the camera?
Yeah.
You know, like
Special occasions.
Nowadays, everybody has a camera out for everything and everything is documented.
But back in the Stone Age when I was growing up.
But back when I was growing up too, it was like you didn't take a camera out for everything. You took it out for special occasions.
Yep.
So there's going to be a million Christmases. So I'm just trying to figure out which Christmas is which now. And I'm just like pretty much charting your outfits. But we still have another like 2,000 or 3,000 slides to digitize.
Still do, because I got all the slides from my mom and dad's house when they passed. They've been sitting in my house for all this time, and now I want it digitized. And I love the way that you categorized it and put it in. But then you did this great thing. You printed out some, including we used to use. Full disclosure, a whole lot of tinsel. I mean, more tinsel than any one family should use on a tree, on one Christmas tree.
You know how we've been out of toilet paper during the pandemic? They were out of tinsel in Lorianne's days because there's literally was no more tinsel left for the rest of the world.
My father had to have bought a case of tinsel every year. And every year, by the way, not only did we put it on, but Dad was very economical because he grew up in the years where there was, lack of food and lack of everything. So he wasted nothing. We used to, at the other side of Christmas, have to take the tinsel off and lay it in these boxes. Can you just imagine?
It's actually disturbing to me, but okay. But yes, that is very economical.
It was disturbing to me at the time, but it worked. So, but and hence why I don't have tinsel on my tree anymore, because I think I got tinseled out but it was.
You put tinsel over your body though now that you're a sparkle lady.
Oh, I am. I do. I tinsel myself with the sparkle and the touchstone and the Swarovski crystals,
so many
and stuff.
Sparkly crystals and.
Well, I like that, and maybe that's where it goes back to. Maybe you just solved it.
I just psychoanalyzed
you. You did, right on the radio, right here. Actually, that makes perfect sense. Look at that.
There we go.
But it's
you're a Christmas tree.
I am a Christmas tree. Oh no. Hopefully, I'm not wearing as much tinsel as my trees were. But the point is that it was really nice to look back on that, and I hadn't spent time with those photos because they were in slides, and you had to have those projectors and.
Now you can flip through
them.
I
can flip through them.
A little memory box.
Yeah, but the thing that I was getting to was that printing them out, so important. Talk about printing photos, what that does to our psyche.
This is my favorite topic.
I do. That's why I brought it up.
I love printing photos. So,
it actually makes you mad when people just keep it on their phone.
It's I'm furious. I mean, I have 50,000 photos on my phone, but once a year I sit down.
Most of them are my tree Christmas.
Total.
My
They're
Christmas
like 2,000 tinsel photos. So, once a year I sit down and I make a book of, it's an informal book. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. An informal book of my favorite, I'll call them my Instagram photos, which is more like a journal of my year.
Yeah.
I also print out photos for people as gifts and for Christmas and stuff like that. But doing it on a regular basis, I would say every few months, I go through my phone. I'm like, okay, what are the highlights of this season, let's say, and I want to print them, and I like to send them in cards to my family members and just be like, thinking of you. We had such a great time at Easter, or thinking of you this like adventure we went on the North Fork. It was so much fun. So printing your photos is so important, even from your phone. I also think, and photos throughout the years.
Yeah.
It's like, think about how many years we've been digital now. It's been about 20, a little over, maybe around 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's 20 years of photos that are just mostly not printed.
In your phone.
They're in your phone, they're in the cloud. And in some cases, in sad cases, they're on a laptop that died. Yeah. And then I actually have 2 years of photos that just disappeared. So,
oh my God, that's my biggest nightmare.
I've gotten slightly over it, but it's like as if there's a year or two of my life that's missing in photos. Yeah. So I have to kind of go and stalk out all my friends and family and be like, where are my photos? Where are the photos of me?
There you go.
Or our family.
Yeah.
So, but I'm the one that does it. So it's also, I feel like, my responsibility.
So you taught me with the printing, obsession with printing, which I really totally understand now when I went through the process. Now what I do is I go to my phone, and when I get pictures that I really like, I'll go through periodically, and my favorites, I put little hearts on, and it goes into my favorite folder. And then from that folder, I can send them to you to do what you do, which is called culling. You then take those and you cull them down to the best photos that you really recommend us putting into print and then putting it into one of those photo boxes or a photo album, or framing them in some cases, sharing them with family and friends. Because that's why I'm taking them, to preserve those moments.
Yeah. And sometimes either like you could end up accidentally deleting them, or you just forget about them when they're
Don't say things like that. You're making me anxious.
Yeah, exactly. They end up getting buried in your phone.
Yeah.
So you forget about them until someone says, oh, do you have a picture from blah, blah, blah? And then you go back and look. But wouldn't it be nice to have something printed that you can enjoy now, or even just share with your friends? Remember when you would go to Costco or you would go to CVS and print out 4 copies? My grandma always used to take pictures, and she would send out, say that she wanted doubles every time. So now there's no such thing as doubles, or getting them printed anyway, from a lab with film. Most people don't do that, even though, fun fact, it's coming back, making a comeback. Well, and so many photographers are loving it as an art form now. It's
starting to come back. It started with the Insta photos. Mm-hmm. What are they called? The ones that
Polaroids.
The Polaroids. It started with the little. I have a mini Polaroid camera, and I print those little Polaroids out. And remember shaking them. Anybody who had a Polaroid, you'd have to like shake it to develop it. It was really cute, and then you watched it, the photo appear right in front of you. And now they're going back to film. So I'm excited because it has a different texture to it. It has a different look to it. It has a different feel.
Also, when you only have 30 pictures to take, you're going to make them count. You're not going to take 800 different ones. And holding the camera in your hand. I actually I forget what it's called. I just saw this new camera that it's all the rage with the young hip kids these days.
All the rage.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea what that's like. So they're like these cameras that you put around your neck, and they're very thin. They're I think they're even made out of like cardboard or paper. And the only thing that is digital or mechanical is the shutter itself and a little sensor in the back that takes the picture. And so younger people are taking them around to detach from their phones and take pictures. I know I sound like I'm like 100. These kids these days, and they take their camera and they take them around with their friends so that they can take themselves off their phones and take their minds out of their social media chaos for a minute and actually enjoy being present. And so here we go, talking about being present again. And they're taking they take the however many pictures, and they don't get to see them. There's no screen on the back. They take the pictures, and then they can see them later when they plug the camera in. So
I love that, because it's a delayed satisfaction. And the other thing that you do is not only can you organize people's photos and help them organize them, but also you teach camera skills. I mean, I know you've taught me how to use my camera. Anthony, other friends of mine, you've taught them
teaching.
Oh my God. And you're such a good patient teacher, and you'd have to be with me. So teaching, you teach classes, you do photo education, you do camera skills, you even teach photoshopping, which you are like, you make it look so easy. You're like, click, 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 and it's done, and it's beautiful.
Boom, done.
Yeah. It's just great. I love the young and thin package that you gave me.
Gosh.
It was so good.
I was ethically conflicted about it. Made the record state. No, I want everyone to look like
natural.
themselves. Yeah. And also I want everyone to realize like how beautiful they are naturally. So I do like to use Photoshop. Sometimes there's flyaways, or there's things that we couldn't expect, or just you turn a certain way and now you have 8 chins. So it's like, let's fix that, because it's not really a good representation of you.
Right.
But yeah, I do love teaching Photoshop. Photoshop is one of my favorite things to do. I love sitting behind the computer and just making magic happen and enhancing the already beautiful photos. But I love teaching. I actually went to school to be a music teacher, and
I did not know that.
No,
I didn't.
I'm a singer and a drummer, and
that I knew.
And I used to be in the infamous ska band, the Watergate Brigade, circa 2007.
Wow, circa
good times. I do miss it a lot. So I went to school to teach music, and as I was in school, I also found a passion for photography, and I had always loved photography, but I ended up making it into a career, and it has become honestly the best thing that I could have ever asked for. I've been shooting weddings for 15 years. I
Can
I
you
actually just
imagine?
retired
From shooting weddings.
Yeah, I just retired from shooting weddings.
But you have a team of people who shoot for you.
I do,
now.
yes. That shoot events, and I love photography. I love shooting, but I will specialize in family connection photography, and business branding and female empowerment photography. All about showing off your best self, and also just loving each other and family connection. So, but yes, on the teaching end, we also do photo retreats. So we go on adventures all over Long Island into the city, and we teach photography with maybe a glass of wine in your hand.
Yes.
And yep, exactly. That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
But yeah, and also a little like history lesson about where we are. And we use, anyone can do this for a bachelorette party, for a girls' weekend, for corporate retreats. And it's something that's fun that everyone can do. So we really get to enjoy that together.
I love that. I want to talk more about the treats after the break, but you are listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne Casdia, and we are talking to the great, amazing professional photographer, Terrie Alfieri, who has this empire of all these different services. We're going to talk more about that when we come back. So we're going to take a short little break, but we will be right back. I promise. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas you'd like to hear more about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. And you can also get more information about my coaching, my life and business transformational success coaching at ldcstrategies.com and loriannecasdia.com. So look forward to speaking and chatting with you there. We always respond to all of our emails because we love our listeners. Anyway, back to you, Terrie. I'm so excited about talking about this because although I do not enjoy having pictures taken of me when I'm aware of it, I do like the pictures after. So the way you take photographs is really very calming and approachable, and I love that. But we were talking about like going through our photos, culling the photos, not keeping them on our phone, putting them into albums or in beautiful boxes, and you have them in these beautiful linen boxes, these beautiful wood boxes, these beautiful glass boxes. Any medium you can think of, you have that. You found it. Also framing them, which is just something that's an art form in and of itself, and having that up around your house as an art form. So I love that. But I love it when you teach. I love it when you teach how to use the cameras, taking people on retreats, and then teaching Photoshop skills and how they can take their photos and make them even better than what they are. But you really are all about family connection and family connection photography. How did you get into this type of photography? I mean, I know you're a big mush bear, so I probably can assume.
Snuggles.
Yes, you love snuggles. You love hugging. You're the best hugger ever. I love hugging you. But
right
so
back at ya.
How did you get into that kind of photography?
So it's interesting because when you start photography, when you start shooting, pretty much everybody in your family you try to take pictures of, or any friends you have, you pretty much will shoot anything. Like that is just the experience of a beginner photographer. And so I started shooting my own family, my siblings. I'm actually the oldest of 5, and I'm also the oldest of 20 first cousins. So,
Yikes. Wow.
Italians, right?
God bless. Well, we got something to do.
That's how we roll. So, so I would take pictures of them because I also really, really love babies, and I love snuggling, and I love snuggling with babies. So it's my 2 favorite things. So I started shooting like that. Then from there, everyone's asking you to photograph birthday parties and all sorts of stuff. And then it starts to get really like cheesy. And they're like, how about this cake smash? And we're going to do this trendy thing. And I'm going to dress my kid up like a penguin. And you're like, okay, whoa, what's going on?
Slow down.
So at a certain point in your career, you kind of have to have this reawakening of what's going on here? What am I doing? Am I really passionate about this? And I really wasn't. I was passionate about photography.
Not that there's anything wrong with taking pictures of your child dressed up as a penguin.
Totally.
If that makes you happy.
Take them with your phone. Don't hire a professional, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
Take them with your phone. Hire a professional to do the things that you can't do with your phone. So
I love the matchy-match pictures where everybody's wearing white or everybody's in blue and white.
On the
or
beach.
everybody's in jeans on the beach, barefoot. I love those family pictures.
Please God, no.
Oh, I love them though.
Do you?
I do.
So anyway, moving on.
She just slapped me. I can't.
Okay,
Bam.
moving along. So so that is, I started to kind of
That
have
was
this
so yesterday.
awakening of like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it wasn't bringing me joy. And what does Marie Kondo say? Put it in the trash. It doesn't bring you joy. Put it in the trash.
Put it in the trash.
So I started to really think about what about photography was really drawing me. And it's always the connection. And family is always what brought me to photography in the first place. So like I said before, I really just want people to remember what it feels like to be in that current moment.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily the crazy, insane parts of being a parent, but how about the nice, wonderful, amazing parts of why you want to be a parent in the first place?
There's value to the crazy, insane because it makes you really enjoy the calm moments.
And if you want to take a picture of your husband standing there with the kid and the poop up their back, then you are by far fine with doing that, right? But I would like to help you to remember the reason that you decided to become a parent and the reason that you wanted to have a family. And even if that means having a pet family, even though I'm not the biggest dog person, I do love like capturing just people with their loved ones. And if that's your pet, then that's your pet. I just photographed one of our dear friends, Pansy, and her pet duck.
Yes.
That was so cute and so special because she was like having this beautiful moment. It sounds like with your baby, you know?
It really, our pets are our babies. Our pets are part of the family. That's why we mourn our pets just as much as we mourn loss of a child and God forbid anybody has to experience any of that. It's painful and it's memorable because you make a connection and it's part of your life. So it's real important. She's very close to her pet duck, Lucy. I love Lucy.
And you and Missy.
Me and Missy. Missy and I, in like Flint. She follows me everywhere I go. And so those are our fur babies are really important as well. So, but you do have this knack of capturing that. And the other thing that I thought was really cool about what you do with Family Connection is you also do photo restoration. Now, I have seen photo restoration in the past, and that wasn't easy for me to say today, but I've seen that in the past and it's nice and it's good, but I have seen you like replace missing pieces of pictures because the picture was torn, or it's amazing. How did you get to do that? Is that part of your photoshopping expertise?
I love doing photo restoration. I'm actually on a photo restoration kick right now where you should see my house. I have stacks and piles of photos that I have just jacked from my grandmother and she didn't want to give them to me. And I took them and I was like, I'm taking these and I'm going to do all this stuff with them. So I already restored some of them, took big rips out of that was going in between someone's eye. You saw the one where there was a heat damage to the photo where half of the guy's face.
It was like melted off, it looked like.
Yeah, it was totally gone. So that was one of the first things I learned when I started doing Photoshop was how to restore photos. And I think that is so cool. I mean,
that's a craft. That's an art.
Not with like your hands and a paintbrush, like hand painting something in, but by scanning it in at a high quality and being able to fix the imperfections or the damage that's been done, whether it's like water damage, heat damage. I have been able to do some pretty wild things that you didn't think it was going to be able to be fixed because like I said before, like half the face is missing. So we're able to do that. And also what's so cool is that you can take old pictures, whether they're in an old album. I just did one where there was mildew damage on the entire thing and you had to wear a mask basically to even just open up the book because it smelled so bad. So we do the scanning, we touch everything up, and then we can put it into a brand new album. And I work with bookbinders who have been around for decades who can take the actual prints and lay them into a traditional matted book. So I've been able to restore some albums from the 50s. I did one from 1946, 46 and 56. Those were the last two I did. And they were so cool just to see the time that they were in and where the people were from. The one I just did was from a family in Puerto Rico. They shipped me the pictures.
Oh, wow.
So I can what's really cool about this job, aside from, just photographing and being one-on-one with people locally, I also do shoot in other states and other countries, do destination photography.
And you do adventures too.
And adventures.
Yep.
But also I can do albums and retouching and any kind of digital services remotely from anywhere around the world. I can do it here and take photos from anywhere around the world and fix them up.
And fix them from here. Yeah. I love you. And I wanted to get to, well, I do love you, but I wanted to get to your, to another division of yours, which is your editing and retouching division. You actually have a whole group of people who work for you who do editing for other photographers. So because most photographers just like to take the photos, whereas you like to take the photos, but you also have an editing team that will edit those photos for that photographer, for their client. And I find that really intriguing too. And you do that for all over the world as well. They just have to digitally transmit.
Just have to send them. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
you have a team standing by. I feel like I'm on a telethon.
Yes, I do. The team is standing by whenever you need to send your photos. I really do love helping people just in general. Like that's something I've always wanted to just help people. So with my knowledge from being a photographer for all these years and running a business, I'm able to lend that expertise in that industry. What did you call it?
Knowledge?
Industry knowledge. Yes. There we go. I'm able to lend that knowledge to other photographers who are newer, or even people who have been doing it for a long time and just need extra hand.
Yeah, you give me, as my team, my web team that builds websites, you give me the industry knowledge in your industry of photography. So you really help me, but help our photographer clients have the best websites, and you work with your specialty is working with other photographers, helping them with their business in editing and album designing, selling, mentoring clients, and helping gift to clients so that they understand they get to do the one part that they really love, stay in their wheelhouse, as I say to my clients, and then they give you the business, they outsource it to you to do the rest of that, to talk to their clients, to help them build their albums. And because why are you having these pictures taken if you're not going to do something with them? And right. I know that's a pet peeve of yours and a passion of yours. It's, you got the two P's going on.
What is the point? I don't want to say what is the point. So if you're not going to do something with your photos and enjoy them, then why are we even taking them to put them on social media?
Right.
And also with photographers, they're wearing way too many hats. Being a photographer, most people, do not go to business school and then say, I'm going to become a photographer. So most of the time they're just learning as they go. A lot of people are moms that become photographers to facilitate a type of stay-at-home work that you can do around your kid's schedule.
You specifically employ a lot of stay-at-home moms too,
yes,
doing the editing and things like that. So that's one of your models in empowering women, and I love that that's your business choice, that's your business model, and in working with the photographers, you actually take over a lot of the stuff that they don't really want to do. They just want to take the photos.
Yeah, and a lot of times
they're actually where you used to be. I just want to take the photos. Now you are like, I want you to take the photos. I will edit them. I will help your client choose an album, a box, or frames.
Yeah, we specialize in the post-production. Yeah. So I do love employing stay-at-home moms, and I would like for that to continue to be my business model forever, because I think it's so wonderful to be able to create a career that you work around your kids' schedule and around your busy life and work as much or as little as you want. Yeah. So anyone listening, if you are a photo editor and you want to come and work for us, we are ready for you.
That's great. And that would be TerrieAlfieri.com or the Album Shoppe, SHOPPE.com. You can get to Terrie both of those ways, and definitely reach out to her, because you could stay at home, get the best of both worlds, and learn stuff. Plus you will teach people how to edit, right? Because you have a very specific style.
Well, I want to be able to appeal to lots of different kinds of photographers. But like you said before, a lot of photographers, they just want to shoot. Maybe they play around with editing and they have fun with it, and that's great, but they just really want to shoot. And so all this behind the scenes, like a lot of times they hire a virtual assistant to help them with their clients, and then they just want to shoot, and now they're hiring an editor. The other thing we do is we sell for photographers so that they can make extra money while they're home and they're shooting and they're being with their kids. Now they can make extra money on the side while we sell albums for them.
Yeah, and you know me as a business coach, I'm going to tell you, you need to stay in your wheelhouse. What gives you joy, what brings you happiness, and if it's not the editing and working with the clients and doing all these other post-production things, hire someone like Terrie to do it for you because you love this and your team loves this.
And we're all just so passionate about turning the photos, taking that large amount of photos, narrowing it down to the best of the best, giving them to the clients, and then taking those photos, narrowing them down to the photos that are going to end up on your walls, in your boxes. I mean, not everybody likes the same thing. So we're able to tailor what we do to each specific photographer and each specific client.
Yeah, and you're really good at that. Sometimes I look at all the thousands of pictures that you take, and then to be able to bring them down to 250, 100, and then bring that down to 50 or 20 is amazing to me. It really is. And that combined with your editing skills and your team's editing skills, it's a one-stop shop if you really wanted to. I personally, and this is just a selfish statement, I wish you would do more photographs because I love that you do business branding, and I love your photographers that you work with, but I also love the way you do the business branding. You really go out there and you really show who that person is, and makes the website building easier for anybody building websites or my team for building websites. You just make that whole thing so much easier, and you capture that human, you capture the element. You had a couple of challenging photo shoots recently with people that don't see themselves that way and don't understand what we were doing. And you just captured them to perfection. One of our friends is an architect, and Pansy Chang, architect, unbelievable architect. She is so funny, but when she's in her business hat, and I always call them hats, right? When she has her business architectural hat on, she's so cerebral that you don't catch the funny thing. I mean, she sings her 30-second commercial to us every Tuesday morning. Mm-hmm. Really funny, really artistic.
She's got a great sense of humor.
Huge.
She's got this quirkiness about her that I just love. And she also has so many things that many people would relate to if they would just get to know her. But sometimes they get stuck in the cerebral
Pansy.
So then when you get to know, that's what I love about photography. When you really get to know somebody, when I get to meet all these people and see who they are, now I can show the world who they are with the pictures. And that just means so much to me, because now not only did I get to know her, now I understand the kind of person that she is, but now other people get to see that side of her that, I helped kind of elicit out of her.
Yeah. Yeah, and you certainly did, because you saw, with all the pictures, you see all the different sides of the human, and you do that with your parents and their babies. You do that with the family connection pictures. Obviously, that's what that was. You do that with your business branding. Any photo that I see you taking, and your team, you have some really nice photographers on your team who capture in a similar way.
Yeah, they're awesome too. And they honestly, they go out there, and the best part is that you can't tell the difference between what I'm shooting and what they're shooting. The shoots that they do, the events that they do, they bring the same heart, the same snuggles, and all of that beautiful visionary imagery.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you train each and every person who works for you, be it an editor, be it an album designer, be it although I think you're very hands-on with the album design. I think you're hands-on with all of it, but you train each of them so that they learn the same style and they learn how to do it the Terrie Alfieri way, which is what somebody's coming in to you to get. So if you do like photos, if you love them even more now, if you want to take those photos off of your cell phone, you really need to reach out to Terrie Alfieri at terrialfieri.com. Let's spell that out for them.
I've heard my name so many times today. It's a lot. So terrialfieri.com, TerrieAlfieri.com.
That's right. And I'll put that in Facebook chat, and I'll also put it in the information associated with this show. So you'll be able to get that off of there, and we'll link you right over to Terrie's information, especially if she's also looking for editors and other photographers, especially moms, stay-at-home mom photographers. She works with stay-at-home dad photographers too, but prolific amount are stay-at-home moms. And you love what you do. Tell me what your why is.
Oh, man. Way to go, just throwing me for a loop.
Oh yeah, throwing you right there.
Why do I do this? Because I love capturing people, and I love to help them to preserve their family history. and to just to see the joy on people's faces when they have something tangible to remember their family for years to come, and to really just help people to embrace and to love their children and their families.
You're a storyteller. You know, there are cinematographers. They're a storyteller through film. There are painters. They're storytellers through painting. You're a storyteller through photos. And I think when you go through that culling process of narrowing down photos, you're really picking the best moments to put in that story, to tell your story. And I think that's what you're doing. And it just came to me now that you're telling that story through their photos. And I have to ask you, when you're getting someone's old album and you get to restore it and you get that feeling of satisfaction of giving them back this thing that's so important to them, their memories and their traditions, you give it back to them, you're really helping them preserve their story, right?
Yeah, and it was something that nobody was able to enjoy before because it was either in really bad condition. The last one I received was in a basement, getting mildew stains all over it. Nobody was enjoying it. Now it's something that's sitting out on the coffee table, that's in the bookshelf, that when family comes over, when friends come over, they can flip through and say, look, this was your grandpa, this was your great grandpa, this is your, these random relatives. Oh, I actually look like them. And when I do see that, and I've heard stories like that, we just experienced it with my husband and his grandfather, who he never met. And we were going through the old pictures on Easter, and he was just like, wow, like I look like him. Like I never realized I actually look like him. So I know it sounds, like people have kids and they don't realize how cool it is that you are creating a version of yourself.
A human.
And now from then, 3 generations, 4 generations down, you can look back and see that you have these characteristics, and you're not just that you look like somebody, but that you feel connected to who they are as a person.
Yeah.
So it is really beautiful to see that through someone's eyes. And I'm so happy and proud to help people to do that.
Well, thank you for what you do and you give back to the world, and how passionate you are, and the love that you give, the love that you infuse in every project you do with every client you work with. You just infuse them and wrap them in love and give them so much more than what they actually pay for. And I really, I enjoy that about you. That's why I invited you to the show, to really highlight what you do. So thank you for being on the show. I'd love to have you back again. Thank you all
so much. This was great.
My pleasure.
I had so much fun.
I'm so glad. Thank you all for listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori-Ann. It's always an honor that you select us to listen to it during your day. We're really happy to be here with you. But in the meantime, thank you again for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle with Lori-Ann. I am Lori-Ann Casdia. Until next time, play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big, huge, massive. Show up. Have a great day.